Should you spar hard? Yes and no. Now, the main thing when it comes to sparring is time and place. Now, hard sparring is something that, as a beginner, you don't want to be doing. You want to be getting used to seeing shots, you want to make it playful, you want to take away the consequences so you build good reactions and you're not worrying about getting hurt. You don't want to be building these flinchy reactions that stop you from performing or get you into bad habits. So if you're just starting, you want to make your sparring nice and playful, nice and fun, nice and light. Make it technical, get used to seeing shots, get used to practicing your techniques properly, and get used to dealing with things coming back at you. If you're a little bit more intermediate now, you want to raise the level slightly. So you want to be getting used to maybe hitting a little bit harder to the body, taking a few more shots on the legs, digging a little bit deeper, getting used to that feeling of a bit of pressure, taking a few shots on the gloves nice and tight, maybe do a few drills where the person digs in a little bit more whilst you're covering under a controlled scenario or in a controlled drill to get you used to that contact. Now, hard sparring is something that I think you need to do sparingly because, again, you don't want to get damaged, you don't want to get hurt, but the time for it is if, say, you're starting to think about competing or you're in a fight camp and you need to get used to having some shots thrown at you, but not all the time, because again, that's when injuries happen. So again, against trusted training partners, people you know that aren't going to go wild or try and be reckless. But again, if you're taking a few shots on the gloves, get your partner digging in a bit harder, get them throwing the kicks a bit harder to the body, get them being a bit more aggressive. Aggression is something that, again, we need to deal with. It doesn't necessarily mean hitting harder, it means having a pressure, having a feeling of the walls closing in on you. If you've got fights coming up or if you're thinking about competing, then yeah, you do need to get used to being hit. You do need to know what that feeling's like. If you've never felt it, you might come undone when it actually happens to have somebody trying to hit you and hurt you in the ring. So, my biggest advice, if you're a beginner, make it light, make it playful, make it fun, build good reactions, practice your techniques. If you're a little bit more intermediate, get used to taking a few shots on your guard, do some drills that maybe let the person that you're training with dig in a little bit more, like 1 for 1. If you're more experienced and you're thinking about competing, then yeah, you do need to spar hard now and again. But again, be careful with the headshots because again, you don't want to be taking unnecessary damage outside of the ring. But that's my advice when it comes to sparring.